Hello, everyone. I hope that y'all had a good Independence Day weekend, and I hope that everyone had a good time with family. I am here to review the Ironheart Disney Plus series that just came out recently. Obviously, pops haven't even been announced yet for this. If they do, I might unbox them. I don't know. But, yeah, obviously, if there were pops, I would, unbox them, but there aren't, so we're just gonna review it for now. But yeah, so Ironheart, this show, I will say, was mostly a pleasant surprise for me. I went in with very little expectations. I didn't think that much of it. Now, I really liked Anthony Ramos in Transformers Rise of the Beasts, so I was really looking forward to him in this series. But besides that, I didn't really have that high of expectations. I wasn't expecting a whole lot from this series, and it pleasantly surprised me. I really enjoyed it. Dominique Thorne obviously comes back as Riri, and she's really good in this series. She shows a lot of heart, a lot of emotion, and overall, the characters were very well written, except for one part, which I will get to. But yeah, so this series really was a really good, pretty grounded story. Obviously, one of the main themes of this show that they executed really well was magic versus tech, and how complicated it can be to fight someone with magic powers when all you're possessed with is, human tech. Even if it's advanced, it's, hard to fight against those powers, and this show really explained that well. Obviously, Riri joins Parker's crew, finds out how corrupted he is because of the hood he wears, which now we know, spoilers, is, from Mephisto, which we'll get to in a little bit too. And then she learns that, he has to be stopped, she has to take him out, and infuses her suit with magic, which was really cool. So the whole theme of magic versus tech was executed really well. And then the characters were also written really well. So Riri and this whole kind of ordeal with grief, dealing with the loss of loved ones. Parker wanting to be rich, wanting to, be filthy, disgusting rich, and earning that through Mephisto. And then, obviously, Obadiah Stane's son, Zeke. To have a reference to the first Iron Man movie, which came out 17? I'm sorry, my math is off. 17 years ago was awesome. And this character, for the most part, I really liked him. I will say his rush to hating Riri his arc to hating Riri and becoming a villain, to me, felt a little bit rushed. And then at the very end, after she saves him from Parker's control, because obviously, he injects himself with technology, but Hood takes control of him, and Riri saves him, but at the end, he was like, oh, I don't know where to place all this anger, so we're not done. Like, what are you talking about? Like, she just saved you, and, she has made it very clear that she never meant to, drag you into everything, get you in jail, get you caught, get you arrested, all that. So, yeah, I don't really understand why he still hates Riri and why he's gonna come after her a little bit. But yeah, the other characters, what was his name? Xavier, I think her friend, was good, well written. Natalie, the AI Natalie too, and that whole arc was written extremely well. And then her mom was also a good character, and the rest of Parker's crew, they were all funny, lighthearted, served their roles really well. So yeah, I really did enjoy the characters. And one thing I will say is that the show kind of lacked action. I feel like this was almost like a Moon Knight situation where the show could have used more action, but it didn't, and that could have helped develop the characters a little further. But overall, extremely well written characters, especially Riri and Parker, the two main characters of this series, were written very well, and incorporating other parts of the MCU into the show, like how that girl that owned that shop her mom had studied at Comertage, obviously was a sorcerer. That whole thing was cool. And then, obviously, finally the Mephisto reveal. Finally, after years of speculating this character, bringing him in, and with, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Sacha Baron Cohen or something, whatever that actor's name is, played him phenomenally. Really kind of this underlying malice towards him, really cunning. Obviously, he's basically the literal devil of Marvel, so he would come off like that. But yeah, that reveal was awesome, and it's good to finally have this character in the MCU, and it looks like he's gonna be around to stay as well. So yeah, also Riri's second suit, her first suit, meh, but Riri's second suit that she designed at the end of the series was awesome. Like, it was so clean, it looked so good. Honestly, it's up there with one of my favorite suits. Not Iron Man suits, because she's not Iron Man, but just suits in general in the MCU. Like, iron suits in the MCU. It was really, really, really clean. But now we're going to get into my biggest problem of the show, and that is right at the end of the series, Riri accepting Mephisto's deal to bring back Natalie. So, throughout the show, Riri's whole arc, Riri's whole kind of character development came from accepting the fact that, you know, she had lost Natalie, she had lost her stepdad, learning how to deal with that, how to cope with death, how to accept that it wasn't her fault, how to, you know, mourn loved ones in a positive way that wouldn't, you know, take away from their memory, learning how to, you know, remember the good things. You know, sometimes when we lose loved ones, we can forget we can only remember the bad stuff, and we forget the good things that happen too. So, like, all of this about Riri coming to terms with herself, accepting what happened, learning to deal with her emotions and cope with those, I kind of just feel like that all went out the drain when she accepted Mephisto's deal. Like, you had learned that your friend was dead, right? Even though this was an AI that could help you, you know, cope a little and help, you know, had helped you up to this point in the show, you had learned that the real Natalie wasn't coming back. The real Natalie, you know, she had died, but you needed to remember the good things, you know? All of that just like instantly, oh, she's back now. Natalie's back. It's like, what did you learn from the show then? Like, what was all that character development for? What was all that learning and that growth for if the millisecond your friend is offered a second chance, like, to resurrect her, basically, you take it? Like, what was all that character growth and development for? Like, it just kind of felt like all of her growth throughout the show was thrown out at the end for that. And then, like, so when the suit was infused with magic, the Natalie AI disappeared for whatever reason, whatever happened. And all of your friends and your family saw that, right? So how are you going to explain to them that not only is Natalie back, but she's alive? Like, she's made of, you know, flesh. She's real. She's, like, living again. Like, if they see Natalie, how are you going to explain to your friends and family that, oh yeah, I just made a deal with the devil, and she's back now? Like, how are you going to explain that to them? And then, like, after seeing what the Hood did to Parker, literally seeing him turn into a literal demon in front of your face, and you still made a deal with Mephisto? Like, you went... The whole reason you were there in the first place was to stop Parker from doing all the evil things he was doing, and to stop Parker from causing any more pain and chaos. So, like, after you do that, and after you see Parker turning into a literal demon in front of you, you still make the deal with Mephisto? Like, what? This Riri is a very smart person. She's also very morally driven. She's a pretty good moral person. So why in the world does she just fold like that when Mephisto offers her? Especially after all she had went through and learning to deal with her friend's death and cope with her friend's death. You just like instantly fold. It just, to me, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't align with how they had written the character. And it almost feels like it happened more for the plot and for drama rather than actually aligning with the character. Like that decision of Riri to accept Mephisto's offer is almost, it literally single-handedly almost ruins the show for me. Like, there is no way, after seeing Parker turn into a demon, seeing what the Hood can do to you, seeing how evil Mephisto is, you still accept his offer? Like, it just, to me, it's more of shock value and a big twist rather than being in line with the actual character. So, yeah, I don't know. I did not like the ending of the show. I felt like the show had built up Riri and built up her character to be, this girl who is strong, she's resilient, and she now better knows how to cope with the loss of her loved ones. And now that's just thrown out the window because she made a deal with Mephisto. I don't know. It leaves me confused, and it leaves me just kind of wishing there was a different ending. Again, I don't think it aligns with the character. But yeah, still, overall, even with the ending, I still really enjoyed this show. I also enjoyed Riri's dilemma of, like, not saving John and leaving him to die. Like, to me, I was kind of confused, but then when I learned it was self-defense and he would, John would have told Parker that Riri was, against him and whatnot, she kind of had to make that choice. So after I thought about it for a sec, I'm like, yeah, I know why Riri had to leave him and didn't save him. I can understand why that happened. But yeah, overall, I really did like the show. Again, it was a pleasant surprise. It wasn't anything like spectacular and amazing, but it was still really good, and I really enjoyed it. And I am looking forward to seeing the future of this character. It will be interesting, even though I don't like the narrative decision. I still think it will be interesting to see what they do with Riri's character going forward. And, now that she has made a deal with Mephisto, how that's going to impact her and her loved ones and her family and whatnot. But, yeah. So, I don't know if I'm going to unbox those pops. What if I do get them, but we'll have to see. But, yeah, Fantastic Four is coming up soon. I'm so excited for that, and I have the pops to unbox too. Super looking forward to Fantastic Four next. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought of Ironheart, and I'll see you later. Peace out.